So, right, okay, we have the block right here. It arrived from AliExpress today. It is been given a guard against counterfeiting sticker by Bykski, so you know it's a genuine part. And let's take a look, shall we? Let's dig in. So initially, in the packaging, you get a manual. However, it's actually not a manual. So it says it's operational manual. However, it doesn't actually give you any guidance on how to install the block because, as you can see here, this isn't a GPU block, that's a CPU block in the imagery. So you will have to go online, but I'll put a link to that in the description below. Nextly, we have the screws and all the little gubbins and bits that you need to get it all together. They've actually included a nice screwdriver, which is also a good plus. 2 blanking plates to for the ports you're not going to use, and a 5-volt RGB header. However, you can get a 12-volt one, which is a 4-pin. Obviously, I've got a 5-volt 3-pin. I am using it with an adapter for Corsair, so I can also put a link for that in the description below if anyone's interested. However, I'll be using that because that's the header I use. You also get a quality control certificate, as you can see here. It passed its quality control, so that's all good. I did just drop that. Oh well. And then let's dig into the actual bits of the block, shall we? So we initially, when we open the box, we get the backplate. Now, the backplate seems pretty well made. It's pretty sturdy. All comes in outside packaging, which is always good. And if we take it out of the packaging, we have a little bit of a Bykski logo on here, a little bit of a kind of design. As you can see, pretty standard backplate, doesn't really do much. It doesn't have thermal pads for it. As you can see, it's kind of got these kind of pressure plates to kind of give a little bit more pressure. But if you wanted to put some kind of thermal pads around where the back of your RAM modules are, which is what they've done on the Sapphire block in general when they've done it from factory, you can just buy some thermal pads to do that. I actually have some knocking around from an EK block, so I'll probably just end up using those. And then we have the actual block, but before we do that, we also have the little pack of thermal pads. Now again, a lot of people kind of say, you know, do you stick with the pads that you come with it or not? I tend to stick with the pads that come with it. You will notice that no thermal paste comes with this, and I tend to go for Thermal Grizzly's Hydronaut when it comes to wall blocks and that kind of thing. So again, I'll put a link for that in the description below. But 1.2mm thickness on the pads, so they are a non-standard size for pads. You normally see 0.5, 1mm, 2mm, but not very many 1.2s. It seems to be like a Bykski only thermal pad. However, again, you can get replacement pads if you need to. It seems like there's going to be more than enough pads for what I need it for, so that's all good. And then we have the block itself. Now, the block itself, I will also obviously cut some pictures of the block, some closer pictures of the block. But let's have a look and see how the block works. So, notice I'm wearing gloves for this. I just don't like having fingerprints on the block. I'm a bit weird about that. But, you know, this is the block itself. So you've got your 2 ports for in and outlet, and you've got quite a nice design. I quite like the kind of less square design, and I like the little kind of indentations they do. You can also get a Bykski monitor that goes on the top of these. Now, they're about £45 on AliExpress. And what you do is you just take these 3 screws off here, 1, 2, 3, and you pop that off there and put the new one on. Now they come in a vertical and a horizontal, so you can either have the display there, or if you've got the graphics card mounted like I'm going to, which is going to be like that, then you just have it as a horizontal mount. It just depends which way you're going to have it. And then if you can have a look at this. So if we're looking at the back, we can kind of see that the CNC they've done on it has actually been a really, really good job. There's a slight little mark there. If the camera can pick it up, just about. So that will be fine because thermal compound will just fill that up anyway if it's going to come into contact with anything. Apart from that, the rest of the machinery looks good. It's flat. There's no kind of bows or anything in there from what I can tell by the eye. And feels pretty well built, to be honest. It does feel like a thinner block in comparison to in comparison to EK's on the reference model, which I do have. However, my reference model died, so hence why I'm going for this. There are 2 manufacturers that make this, so there's Bykski and there's Alphacool. In the UK, we didn't have any stock at the time, so I ordered mine from AliExpress, and it was a bit cheaper. So I'm going to give Bykski a go and see what it's like. I've had Alphacool blocks, I've had EK blocks, but this is my first Bykski block, so I will let you know the results and do a further video on that. So yeah, that's the block. We're going to go and install it now. I will do a video of the teardown and a video of the install of the block, and we'll go from there. Thanks guys, thanks for checking it out.